My friend, let me share something with you that changed my entire perspective on life's difficulties. Life is like the seasons. There's spring, summer, fall, and winter. And just like nature, your life will have seasons too. You're going to have springs, times of new beginnings, fresh starts, and exciting possibilities. You're going to have summers, times of abundance, growth, and harvest. You're going to have falls, times of preparation, gathering resources, and getting ready. And yes, you're going to have winters. Times of struggle, times of hardship, times when everything seems frozen and nothing seems to grow. But here's what most people don't understand about life's winters. They're not punishment. They're preparation. They're not designed to destroy you. They're designed to develop you. Winter is when the tree appears to be dead, but it's actually gathering strength for spring. Winter is when the farmer rests, but he's also planning for the next growing season. Winter is when nature hibernates, but it's preparing for renewal. The same is true for you. Your struggles aren't accidents. Your challenges aren't mistakes. Your difficulties aren't evidence that life is against you. They're evidence that life is preparing you for something greater. But you have to see them that way. You have to understand what's really happening during your winters. See, most people try to avoid winter. They pretend it doesn't exist. They deny it's happening. They fight against it with everything they have. That's like trying to prevent actual winter from coming. It's futile. It's exhausting. And it's missing the point entirely. Winter is not optional. Winter is inevitable. The question isn't whether you'll face winters in your life. The question is, how will you handle them when they come? And they will come. Everyone faces winters. Rich and poor, young and old, successful and struggling. No one is exempt from life's difficult seasons. I've had my winters. Times when business was terrible. Times when relationships fell apart. Times when everything I touched seemed to turn to dust instead of gold. But those winters taught me things that summer never could. They taught me resilience. They taught me resourcefulness. They taught me what I was really made of when everything was stripped away. Winter reveals character. It shows you who you really are underneath all the external success and comfort. It shows you what you're made of when the going gets tough. And here's something beautiful about winter. It's temporary. No winter lasts forever. No matter how cold it gets, no matter how long it seems, spring always comes again. But you have to endure the winter to enjoy the spring. You have to survive the struggle to appreciate the success. You have to go through the difficulty to get to the opportunity. Most people quit during winter. They give up when things get hard. They abandon their dreams when the obstacles appear. They throw in the towel when they should be holding on. Don't be most people. Understand that winter is part of the cycle. It's not a deviation from your path. It's part of your path. It's not interrupting your journey. It's advancing your journey. Every winter you endure makes you stronger for the next challenge. Every struggle you overcome increases your capacity to handle bigger struggles. Every difficulty you face prepares you for greater opportunities. You see, life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you can handle. And every winter you survive increases what you can handle. But you have to survive it properly. You can't just endure winter. You have to learn from winter. You have to grow during winter. You have to use winter to become who you need to be for the next season. How do you do that? You study during winter. You prepare during winter. You plan during winter. You use the quiet time to develop yourself. When business is slow, work on your skills. When relationships are difficult, work on your character. When money is tight, work on your habits. Winter is not time off. Winter is preparation time. Winter is development time. Winter is becoming time. And here's what separates successful people from unsuccessful people. Successful people use winter to get ready for spring. They don't waste their winters complaining about the cold. They use their winters preparing for the warmth. They know that spring is coming. They know that opportunities will return. They know that things will get better. So they get ready. They don't just hope for a better future. They prepare for a better future. They don't just wish for opportunities. They develop the skills to recognize and seize opportunities. Because when spring comes, and it will come, you want to be ready. You want to have the skills, the knowledge, the character, the preparation to make the most of it. And here's something that might surprise you. Some of your greatest victories will come right after your greatest defeats. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will come right after your biggest breakdowns. Why? Because winter teaches you things that summer can't. Struggle develops muscles that comfort never will. Difficulty reveals resources you didn't know you had. So don't curse your winters. Don't resent your struggles. Don't hate your hard times. Honor them. Learn from them. Grow through them. Let them make you stronger, wiser, better. Remember, it's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you do with what happens to you. It's how you respond. It's how you grow. It's who you become. Your winters are not your enemy. Your winters are your teacher. Your winters are your opportunity to become the person your springs will require. So embrace the season you're in right now. If it's winter, use it. If it's spring, enjoy it. If it's summer, harvest it. If it's fall, prepare for what's coming. But whatever season you're in, remember this, it's temporary. It will change. And you can choose who you become during the changing. That choice, that's your power. That's your opportunity. That's your potential. Use it wisely. Let me tell you about a conversation that changed everything for me. I was going through one of the most difficult periods of my life. Nothing was working. Everything was falling apart. I felt like I was drowning. A wise man said to me, "Jim, the same hammer that shatters glass forges steel." The question isn't what's happening to you. The question is, what are you made of? What are you made of? That's the question struggle asks you. That's what difficulty wants to know. That's what challenges are designed to reveal. And here's what I discovered. You don't know what you're made of until you're tested. You don't know your true strength until you're forced to use it. You don't know your real capacity until you're pushed to your limits. Struggle doesn't create strength. Struggle reveals strength. The strength was always there. The struggle just brings it to the surface. Think about a muscle. How does it grow? Stronger. Through resistance. Through being challenged. Through being pushed beyond what it's comfortable with. The muscle doesn't like resistance. It's uncomfortable. It's difficult. But that resistance is exactly what the muscle needs to grow. Your character works the same way. Your resilience grows the same way. Your capacity expands the same way. Through struggle, through challenge, through being pushed beyond what's comfortable. But most people avoid struggle. They run from difficulty. They take the easy path whenever possible. And then they wonder why they feel weak, why they lack confidence, why they crumble when real challenges come. You can't build strength without resistance. You can't develop character without challenge. You can't create resilience without struggle. Struggle is not your enemy. Struggle is your trainer. It's your coach. It's your teacher. It's there to make you stronger, not to make you suffer. But you have to see it that way. You have to reframe struggle from punishment to preparation, from curse to curriculum, from problem to professor. Every struggle you face is a class in the university of life. Every challenge is a lesson in disguise. Every difficulty is an education in becoming. What is struggle trying to teach you? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you persistence. Maybe it's teaching you that you're stronger than you thought. Maybe it's teaching you compassion for others who struggle. Maybe it's teaching you to appreciate the good times. Maybe it's teaching you what really matters in life. But you have to be a willing student. You have to be open to the lesson. You have to look for the gift in the difficulty, because there's always a gift, always a lesson, always something valuable hidden in the struggle. I remember talking to a woman who lost her job after 20 years with the same company. She was devastated. She felt betrayed. She didn't know what to do. 6 months later, she called me. She had started her own business. She was making more money than she ever made as an employee. She was happier than she'd been in years. She said, "Jim, losing that job was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to discover capabilities I never knew I had. It pushed me to take risks I never would have taken. It made me stronger than I ever thought possible. The struggle that seemed like destruction was actually construction. The crisis that appeared to be an ending was actually a beginning." That's how struggle works. It closes one door to open another. It ends one chapter to begin another. It takes away what you think you need to give you what you actually need. But you have to trust the process. You have to have faith that there's purpose in the pain. You have to believe that there's meaning in the struggle. And here's something powerful. The depth of your struggle determines the height of your strength. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the growth opportunity. Small struggles create small strength. Big struggles create big strength. Massive struggles create massive strength. Don't pray for easy lives. Pray for strength to handle difficult lives. Don't ask for fewer problems. Ask for more ability to solve problems, because problems are not the issue. Your capacity to handle problems is the issue. And that capacity grows through experience, through struggle, through overcoming. Every time you face a challenge and don't quit, you become someone who doesn't quit. Every time you face adversity and keep going, you become someone who keeps going. Every time you struggle and survive, you become a survivor. That's who you're becoming through your struggles. That's what's being forged in the fire of your difficulties. That's what's being created through your challenges. A stronger you, a more resilient you, a more capable you. But strength isn't just about enduring. It's about learning. It's about learning. It's about growing. It's about becoming better because of what you've been through. Don't just survive your struggles. Learn from them. Don't just endure your difficulties. Extract wisdom from them. Don't just get through your challenges. Grow through them. Ask yourself, what is this struggle trying to teach me? How can this difficulty make me better? What strength is this challenge trying to develop in me? Because strength isn't just physical. It's mental. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's the strength of character, the strength of spirit, the strength of will. And this kind of strength can only be developed one way: through struggle, through challenge, through difficulty overcome. So stop seeing struggle as the enemy. Start seeing struggle as the sculptor. It's carving away everything that's not essential. It's revealing the masterpiece that's been inside you all along. The statue of David was always inside the marble. Michelangelo just chipped away everything that wasn't David. Your struggles are chipping away everything that's not you, everything that's not essential, everything that's not strong. What remains is the real you, the strong you, the you that can handle whatever life brings. Trust the process. Embrace the struggle. Welcome the winter. Your strength is being forged. Your character is being developed. Your true self is being revealed. And it's magnificent. Resilience. It's not about being tough all the time. It's not about never falling down. It's not about being immune to pain or difficulty. Resilience is about getting back up. It's about bouncing back. It's about rising again after you've been knocked down. And here's what I want you to understand. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you develop. It's a skill you can learn. It's a muscle you can strengthen. But how do you develop resilience? Through being resilient. How do you learn to bounce back? By bouncing back. How do you become someone who doesn't quit? By not quitting. It's that simple, and it's that difficult. You see, resilience is built one recovery at a time. Every time you get knocked down and get back up, you become someone who gets back up. Every time you face a setback and keep going, you become someone who keeps going. But here's what most people do wrong. They think resilience means never feeling the pain. They think being strong means not being affected by difficulty. That's not resilience. That's real resilience acknowledges the pain, but doesn't let the pain control the response. Real strength feels the difficulty, but doesn't let the difficulty determine the direction. You can be hurt and still be strong. You can feel pain and still move forward. You can acknowledge the struggle and still take action. In fact, that's exactly what resilience is, feeling everything but not being controlled by anything. Let me tell you about a rubber ball and a glass ball. When you drop them both, what happens? The glass ball shatters. The rubber ball bounces. What's the difference? The material they're made of. The glass is rigid. The rubber is flexible. Life is going to drop you sometimes. The question is, are you made of glass or rubber? Are you rigid or flexible? Will you shatter or will you bounce? Flexibility is the key to resilience. Not physical flexibility, mental flexibility, emotional flexibility, spiritual flexibility, the ability to bend without breaking, the ability to adapt without losing your core, the ability to change your approach without changing your destination. Rigid things break under pressure. Flexible things bend and then spring back. Which one do you want to be? And here's something crucial about developing resilience. You have to change your relationship with failure. Most people see failure as evidence that they're not cut out for success. That's backwards. Failure is evidence that you're trying. It's evidence that you're taking risks. It's evidence that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. The person who never fails is the person who never tries anything challenging. The person who never gets knocked down is the person who never gets in the ring. Yeah. But failure isn't final unless you let it be. Setbacks aren't permanent unless you make them permanent. Defeat isn't destiny unless you accept it as destiny. Every failure is feedback. Every setback is information. Every defeat is data about what doesn't work so you can find what does work. Thomas Edison didn't fail 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's how a resilient person thinks. When something doesn't work out, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? Don't ask, how could this happen? Ask, how can I use this? Resilient people don't avoid problems, they solve problems. They don't run from challenges, they run toward challenges. They don't see obstacles as stop signs. They see them as stepping stones. And here's what builds resilience faster than anything else: perspective. The ability to see beyond the current moment. The ability to remember that this too shall pass. When you're in the middle of winter, it feels like winter will last forever. The cold seems permanent. The darkness seems endless. But if you've lived through a few winters, you know something important: spring always comes, always. No matter how cold the winter, no matter how long the darkness, no matter how deep the snow, spring always returns. The same is true for your personal winters. No matter how difficult things get, no matter how dark the situation appears, no matter how hopeless it feels, your spring will come. But you have to survive the winter to see the spring. You have to endure the struggle to enjoy the success. You have to persist through the difficult times to reach the better times. And while you're enduring, while you're persisting, while you're surviving, you're building resilience. You're developing strength. You're becoming someone who can handle whatever life brings. Here's something that might surprise you. Your greatest strengths often come from your greatest struggles. Your biggest assets often come from your biggest challenges. Your most valuable skills often come from your most difficult experiences. The muscle that's never been challenged is weak. The character that's never been tested is fragile. The spirit that's never been tried is brittle. But the muscle that's been pushed to its limits is strong. The character that's been tested by fire is solid. The spirit that's been tried and proven is unbreakable. Which one do you want to be? And here's the key to developing resilience. You have to change your internal dialogue. You have to change the story you tell yourself about what's happening. Instead of, this is terrible, try, this is training. Instead of, I can't handle this, try, I'm learning to handle this. Instead of, why is this happening to me? Try, what is this preparing me for? Your story determines your strength. The narrative you create about your struggle determines whether it defeats you or develops you. Choose a story that empowers you. Choose a narrative that strengthens you. Choose an interpretation that builds resilience instead of breaking it. And remember, resilience isn't about being strong all the time. It's about being strong enough to get through today, strong enough to take the next step, strong enough to try again. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be invincible. You just have to be unbreakable. And being unbreakable doesn't mean you don't bend. It means you don't break. Bend with the wind, but keep your roots strong. Flex with the pressure, but maintain your foundation. Adapt to the circumstances, but hold on to your core. That's resilience. That's strength. That's how you turn struggles into stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. So the next time life knocks you down, and it will knock you down, remember what you're made of. Remember what you're building. Remember who you're becoming. Get back up. Dust yourself off. Learn the lesson. Take the next step. Because resilience isn't about never falling. Resilience is about always rising. And you, my friend, are built to rise. Here's something that will change how you see every challenge for the rest of your life. In every adversity lies the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. But you have to look for it. You have to cultivate it. You have to believe it's there. Most people look at adversity and see only problems. They see only obstacles. They see only what's wrong, what's broken, what's not working. But successful people look at the same adversity and see opportunity. They see possibilities. They see potential. They see what could be created from what currently is. Same situation. Different perspective. Different outcome. The difference isn't in the circumstances. The difference is in the interpretation. The difference is in the mindset. The difference is in what you choose to focus on. Let me tell you about two men who lost their jobs on the same day from the same company, same circumstances, same challenge, same adversity. One man went home and complained to his wife about how unfair life was. He spent weeks feeling sorry for himself. He blamed the company, the economy, his boss, anyone but himself. 6 months later, he was still unemployed and bitter. The other man went home and told his wife, this might be the opportunity we've been waiting for. He used his severance pay to start the business he'd always dreamed about. Within a year, he was making twice what he made as an employee. Same adversity, different response, different result. What made the difference? The second man understood something the first man didn't. He understood that adversity is often opportunity in disguise. When one door closes, another opens. When one path is blocked, another is revealed. When one opportunity ends, another begins. But you have to look for it. You have to be open to it. You have to believe it exists. And here's what's fascinating: the bigger the adversity, the bigger the opportunity. The greater the challenge, the greater the potential for growth. The deeper the valley, the higher the mountain you can climb. Why? Because adversity forces innovation. It forces creativity. It forces you to find solutions you never would have looked for if everything was going smoothly. When everything is easy, you get lazy. When everything is comfortable, you get complacent. When everything is working, you stop looking for ways to make it work better. But when adversity strikes, you become resourceful. You become creative. You become innovative. You find strengths you didn't know you had. You discover abilities you never knew existed. Adversity is a harsh teacher, but it's also a thorough teacher. It teaches lessons that comfort never could. It develops skills that easy times never would. And here's something most people miss: adversity often redirects you toward your true purpose. Sometimes the path you thought you wanted isn't the path you needed. Sometimes the door that closes is closing for a good reason. I know people who lost jobs and found their calling. I know people who went through divorces and discovered their independence. I know people who faced health crises and found their mission. What seemed like the worst thing that could happen became the best thing that could happen. Not immediately, not obviously, but eventually. Sometimes you have to lose your life to find your life. Sometimes you have to lose your way to find your way. Sometimes you have to be broken to be rebuilt stronger. But this requires a different way of thinking. It requires asking different questions. Instead of why me, ask what for. Instead of how long will this last, ask how can I use this? Instead of focusing on what you've lost, focus on what you can gain. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, concentrate on what could go right, because your focus determines your reality. What you concentrate on expands. What you think about most becomes your experience. If you focus on the problem gets bigger. If you focus on the opportunity hidden in the problem, the opportunity gets bigger. And here's something powerful: adversity often connects you with the right people. When you're struggling, you meet other people who are struggling. When you're overcoming, you attract other people who are overcoming. Some of the strongest relationships are forged in the fire of shared adversity. Some of the best partnerships are born from mutual challenge. Some of the greatest alliances are created when people help each other through difficult times. Don't isolate yourself during adversity. Don't withdraw from the world. Reach out. Connect. Share your struggle with people who can understand. You'll be amazed at how many people have been through similar challenges. You'll be surprised at how much wisdom and support is available when you're willing to be vulnerable. And here's something that might shock you. Your adversity might be exactly what someone else needs to hear about. Your struggle might inspire someone else who's going through the same thing. Your story of overcoming might give someone else the courage to keep going. Adversity doesn't just develop you. It prepares you to help others. It gives you credibility. It gives you empathy. Ever been? It gives you the right to speak into other people's struggles because you've been there. Your greatest ministry will come from your greatest misery. Your most powerful message will come from your most painful experience. Your biggest contribution will come from your biggest challenge. But you have to overcome first. You have to find the opportunity in the adversity first. You have to turn your struggle into strength first. And here's how you do it. You look for the lesson. You search for the gift. You hunt for the opportunity. What skill is this adversity forcing you to develop? What strength is this challenge requiring you to build? What knowledge is this difficulty teaching you? Maybe it's teaching you financial management through financial pressure. Maybe it's teaching you relationship skills through relationship challenges. Maybe it's teaching you leadership through crisis management. Every adversity is a master class in something. Figure out what the class is about. Then become an excellent student. Take notes. Study hard. Apply what you learn. Graduate with honors. And remember, the goal isn't to avoid adversity. The goal is to use adversity. The goal is to let it make you better instead of bitter, stronger instead of weaker, more instead of less. Some people become victims of their adversity. Others become victors through their adversity. The adversity is the same. The choice is different. What will you choose? Victim or victor? Bitter or better? Defeated or developed? The adversity doesn't get to choose. Only you get to choose. Choose wisely. Your future depends on it, because on the other side of every adversity is a stronger, wiser, more capable version of yourself. That version is calling to you. Can you hear it? And here we are on the other side. You made it through. You survived the winter. You endured the struggle. You overcame the adversity. But more than that, you were transformed by it. You're not the same person who entered the struggle. You're stronger. You're wiser. You're more capable. You're more resilient. That's what struggle does when you handle it correctly. It doesn't just test you, it transforms you. It doesn't just challenge you, it changes you. It doesn't just reveal who you are, it creates who you become. And the person you've become, that person is equipped for greater challenges. That person is prepared for bigger opportunities. That person is ready for the next level. You see, life prepares you in private for what it's going to promote you to in public. Your struggles were your preparation. Your difficulties were your development. Your winters were your training. And now you're ready. Ready for what? Ready for whatever comes next. Ready for opportunities you couldn't have handled before. Ready for responsibilities you couldn't have carried before. Because struggle doesn't just build character, it builds capacity. It expands your ability to handle pressure. It increases your capability to manage complexity. It enhances your power to process difficulty. You can now handle things that would have overwhelmed you before. You can now manage situations that would have defeated you before. You can now solve problems that would have crushed you before. That's the gift of struggle survived. That's the blessing of adversity overcome. That's the treasure of winter endured. But here's what you must do now. You must help others through their winters. You must share what you've learned. You must use your strength to help others find their strength, because that's why you went through what you went through. Not just for your own development, but for your ability to develop others. Not just for your own growth, but for your capacity to help others grow. Your struggle gave you credibility. Your survival gave you authority. Your transformation gave you the right to speak into other people's lives. People don't want advice from someone who's never faced what they're facing. They want wisdom from someone who's been where they are and made it through to the other side. That's you now. You've been through the fire and you've come out refined, not burned. You've been through the storm and you've come out stronger, not broken. You have something to offer now that you didn't have before. You have a story to tell. You have wisdom to share. You have strength to give. Don't waste it. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't let your struggle be for nothing. Share your story. Help someone else who's going through their winter. Show them that spring is possible. Prove to them that survival is achievable. Demonstrate that transformation is real. But remember, you don't help people by giving them easy answers. You help them by sharing what really works. You don't serve them by pretending struggle is simple. You serve them by showing them how to handle struggle successfully. Tell them the truth. Tell them it's going to be hard. Tell them there will be days when they want to quit. Tell them there will be moments when they question everything. But also tell them this: they're stronger than they think. They're more capable than they know. They can handle more than they imagine. And tell them about the treasure hidden in the struggle. Tell them about the strength that comes from surviving. Tell them about the wisdom that comes from overcoming. Because that's what you've discovered, isn't it? That your greatest struggles led to your greatest growth. That your deepest valleys prepared you for your highest peaks. That your darkest nights made you appreciate the brightest days. You've learned that you can trust yourself to handle whatever comes. You've discovered that you have resources you didn't know existed. You've realized that you're more resilient than you ever imagined. That knowledge, that confidence, that certainty, that's worth more than any external success. That's worth more than money in the bank. That's worth more than any achievement or accomplishment. Because external things can be taken away. But what you've learned about yourself, what you've discovered about your capacity, what you've developed in your character, that's yours forever. And here's the beautiful thing. Now that you know you can survive one winter, you know you can survive any winter. Now that you know you can overcome one struggle, you know you can overcome any struggle. You're no longer afraid of challenges because challenges have become your teachers. You're no longer intimidated by difficulties because difficulties have become your trainers. You're no longer threatened by adversity because adversity has become your ally. You've learned the secret. Struggle doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Adversity doesn't attack you. It develops you. Winter doesn't destroy you. It prepares you. And with that knowledge comes freedom. Freedom from the fear of failure. Freedom from the terror of struggle. Freedom from the anxiety of uncertainty. Because you know now that whatever comes, you can handle it. Whatever happens, you can survive it. Whatever challenges arise, you can overcome them. Not because you're perfect, not because you're invincible, but because you're resilient, because you're flexible, because you've proven to yourself that you can bend without breaking. So as you move forward from this point, remember what you've learned. Remember who you've become. Remember what you're capable of. Don't forget the lessons your struggles taught you. Don't lose the strength your adversity built in you. Don't waste the wisdom your winter gave you. Use it. Apply it. Live it. Share it. And when the next winter comes, and it will come, because life is seasonal, you'll be ready. You'll have the tools. You'll have the experience. You'll have the confidence. You'll know that winter is temporary. You'll know that spring is coming. You'll know that struggles are opportunities and adversities are advantages. You'll know that you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a victor through your circumstances. You're not defined by what happens to you. You're refined by how you respond to what happens to you. That's who you are now. That's what you've become. That's the gift of your struggle. A person who knows that no winter lasts forever. A person who understands that spring always comes. A person who has learned to turn struggles into strength. You are stronger than your struggles. You are bigger than your problems. You are more powerful than your circumstances. And now you know it. Not just intellectually, but experientially. Not just in your head, but in your heart. Not just in theory, but in practice. You've lived it. You've proven it. You've proven it. You've become it. Welcome to the other side. Welcome to your strength. Welcome to your spring. It's been worth the wait. It's been worth the struggle. It's been worth the winter. Because now you know you can handle anything. And that changes everything. Da da na